The year is 1488. A 12-year-old girl stands alone in the highest tower of Château de Nantes. Her small hands grip the cold stone windowsill until her knuckles turn white. Below, enemy banners stretch across the Breton countryside like a plague of locusts. The bells of the nearby chapel toll, not in celebration, but mourning. Her father is dead. Her childhood is over. The world is closing in. This is not how queens are made. This is how they are trapped. Brittany wasn't just a patch of Celtic resistance. It was a golden prize rich in salt, shipyards, and coastal ports. France needed it for power. The Holy Roman Empire needed it to block France. England watched from afar, weighing its options. And, at 13, was the rope in a political tug-of-war stretching across the continent. The proxy ceremony was eerie. A suit of armor stood in for Maximilian, a symbol of everything, and didn't understand. She vowed herself to steel, not a man. And in doing so, she unknowingly gave France the justification it needed to invade. Her value was no longer measured by her intellect or her leadership, but by the regularity of her menstrual cycle. Her womb was a national asset. Her miscarriages, state failures. She was praised in public and pitted in private. A woman fit for crowns, but cursed in her cradle, one ambassador wrote. In 1498, Charles struck his head on a low stone arch while walking through the galleries of Château d'Amboise. A mundane accident, yet one with the weight of destiny. He died without heirs. His sudden death changed Europe's future in a single blow. Joan of France, small, devout, and physically disabled, had been a political afterthought. Her divorce was a spectacle. Church lawyers debated her body as if it were property in court. Witnesses testified to her virginity like auctioneers appraising cattle. And watched in silence, reminded that in this world, queens were disposable. This time, Anne didn't just marry Louis. She faced him across the negotiation table, not the altar. The wedding was less a union of hearts than a battle of wills. She arrived in a gown embroidered with the symbols of Brittany, the ermine and the black cross. Even her fashion choices were statements of cultural defiance. And became a quiet revolutionary in courtly culture. She commissioned illuminated manuscripts celebrating famous women from history, figures like Judith, Esther, and even the Virgin Mary, subtle reminders that women, too, shaped the world. She wrote letters to Isabella of Castile, Margaret of Austria, and even the widowed Queen Elizabeth of York. Through paper and ink, she built a sisterhood of silent power. When Claude was born in 1501, and knew she had to play the long game, she raised Claude not as a docile bride, but as a future strategist. Her education included law, history, and court diplomacy and unspoken rebellion against expectations. By 1513, Anne's body was breaking. Her hair, once vibrant, had turned silver. She walked with difficulty, her steps measured but unbowed. And yet, she arranged her daughter's marriage with meticulous care, knowing it was her last move on the great board of power. The roads from Blois to Nantes were lined with mourners as Anne's coffin passed. Commoners wept. Nobles bowed. Priests intoned Breton prayers long outlawed in French chapels. Inside her coffin was placed a letter to her daughter, perhaps. Or maybe to Brittany itself. Its contents remain unknown, but the seal bore a single word: honor.